Good evening, everybody. Mike Naso here from IPR365.com with the latest on the tropics. We do have a brand new tropical storm out there, the first of the 2011 Atlantic hurricane season. When we take a look out there today, as the sun goes down, you can see on the left side of your screen, this is Tropical Storm Arlene, just upgraded by the National Hurricane Center, and it's sitting in the Western Gulf in the Bay of Campeche, and it is forecast to intensify and strike land. We'll talk about Arlene and its potential impacts. Now here's the latest as of 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This is 7 p.m. Central. Tropical Storm Arlene was at 21.2 north, 93.7 west. Winds were 40 miles an hour, gusting to 50. It's moving west-northwest at 6 to 7 miles an hour, so not very fast at all. And it's still a couple hundred miles away from, say, Tampico, Mexico. And in that general motion, it should still have a good 36 to 48 hours before it makes landfall, and it is forecast to reach about 60 miles per hour, so a moderate tropical storm, not quite towards a hurricane. At least it doesn't look like that at this point in time. We do have those tropical storm watches and warnings along the coast, as it is expected to make landfall within 36 to 48 hours. 1,003 millibars is that pressure, and again you can see the projected path. If it moves a little bit faster, it's inland very quickly here, and the same can be said if it moves a little bit further to the north. One potential possibility that would keep it over water longer would be if it kind of takes the northern edge of this track and then starts to move towards the west-southwest underneath the rebuilding ridge and stays over water as long as possible. Remember last year Hurricane Alex kept bumping north and kind of doing that and stayed over water long enough to become a very powerful Category 2 hurricane. Right now, it doesn't look like Arlene will have the time to do that. I did want to note, here's the wind field, and you can see tropical storm force winds mainly to the north and east of the center. This is likely to expand a bit as the system gets at least a little bit better organized as time goes by. Now, here is the latest visible satellite image as the sun starts to go down of Arlene, and you can see the spinning in there, the clouds bubbling right here. It's right in the middle pretty much of the Bay of Campeche, and systems tend to strengthen quickly sometimes in this area. I remember in 2005, right before Hurricane Katrina, there was Tropical Storm Jose, which developed very far south here and almost became a hurricane. It got to 60, 65 miles an hour, moving straight west at the extreme southern edge. Of course, last year we had Hurricane Carl, which went from tropical storm to a major hurricane in this little area here. So this region is notorious for quick spinning systems, but as the shear lessens over Arlene, it seems to be so large and ragged that it's going to have a difficult time becoming a hurricane, it looks like. But again, strengthening is forecast, and you always have to be careful. It is hurricane season, and those waters are certainly warm. Now here's the model guidance. You can see the spaghetti model plots, as I like to call them. You'll hear that a lot this season. You can see they generally take it northwest, then west-northwest, and as this little bit of a weakness in the ridging goes off to the northeast, we're going to have the rebuilding ridge, this clockwise flow to the north of Arlene, and that is going to push it back west and possibly even west-southwest. And that's why I noted earlier, if it starts to move southwest before landfall, that could prolong the amount of time that it's going to be over water rather than just going straight west into land. So that's going to be something we're going to have to watch. It's going to be very interesting to see where Arlene goes. But the model's in generally good agreement. Northwest, west, then southwest into landfall. And again, it's not moving very quickly, so it will be over water at least for a couple of days. Now, here are the latest sea surface temperatures in the Atlantic Basin. Note the eastern Gulf here, very warm, right off the west coast of Florida. That's going to be something as the loop current kind of heats up here. If we get any hurricanes this year, or even tropical storms crossing that, we could have trouble. A little bit of a cool eddy here off the north coast of the Yucatan. But as our system approaches the Mexican coast here, you can see there are very, very warm waters. Some of these waters are rather deep. So it will have the fuel, as far as sea surface temperatures are concerned, to strengthen. As far as upper level winds, we have had an upper level low towards the western edge of Arlene that was shearing it. That's lessening. You can see over the top of it low shear. This shear here is generally going to be from the outflow of the cyclone, mainly on the right side, showing that it hasn't really fanned out on its western side yet because of that shear, but it is expected to do so and gradually increase in strength. Now, the latest radar out of this region here, you can see we do have some banding coming in here into northern Mexico already and South Texas. And I should note that this thunderstorm up here moving into areas of northeast Texas, that is a severe thunderstorm warning. You could have quarter-size hail within that thunderstorm, and we're watching that very carefully, of course, because severe weather coverage is something we also take care of here at IPR, and that's eastern Hopkins County, by the way, in northeast Texas under that severe thunderstorm warning, as again, we're going to continue to see some rainy weather head towards the southern portion of Texas, and you can see there's that banding coming in, pretty good squall line in association with the far outer reaches of Arlene, now heading towards Matamoros, Brownsville, Padre Island region. Right now, a lot of those areas can use the rain. It's been a severe drought down there in many areas of Texas, Mexico region. So what do we expect in the final analysis with Arlene? Well, here's the satellite the last 24 hours. You can see Tropical Storm Arlene has developed there and has become a minimal tropical storm. It has a large moisture envelope, which could be beneficial, but again, we always have to keep an eye because you don't want a strong tropical system. The reason why Arlene probably won't become that strong is because it's so large and ragged. If it was a tinier, tighter system like Hurricane Brett of '99, I'd be much more concerned about strengthening. Remember how long it took Alex last year. Alex took a very long time to even strengthen into a hurricane, let alone a Category 2. However, as this weakness in the ridging moves on off towards the northeast, we're going to get that clockwise flow here, heading around to the north of Arlene. That's going to send our system as it moves northwest back to the west, and then even west-southwest into landfall, and that's what we're going to be dealing with as it pulls on up towards the Mexican coastline. We do have those tropical storm watches and warnings as, again, Tropical Storm Arlene makes its approach. I'm Mike Naso from IPR 365. I'll see you next time.